Chapter 25 of Fing by David Walliams, narrated by me. Chapter 25 Wart. Unwisely, the security guard was standing right in the path of the speeding trolley. Even though her hand was in a stop motion, Mr. Meek just couldn't bring it to a halt. "Sorry!" he cried out, but it was a little too late. Boink! The trolley, with Myrtle sitting in it, bashed into the security guard, sending her flying. Whizz! Ah! laughed the girl. "It's not funny, darling," corrected Mother. "No, it's hilarious," was the reply. The security guard landed in the cheese section between a blue Wensingdale and a red Leicester. Fortunately, a soft cheese, a stinking bishop, cushioned her landing. Splat! Oof! "Super cheese selection," remarked Mr. Meek with a smile. He was hoping that he could somehow distract the security guard from her mentioning being run over by a man with a furry ball on the end of his finger. "Would you care to explain where you were going in such an unholy hurry?" demanded the security guard as she wiped the stinking goo from her bottom. "We were just making a slow amble over to the biscuits," replied Mr. Meek, pointing with his finger, momentarily forgetting that he still had the thing attached to it. "Oops," he muttered. "What's that?" demanded the guard. "What's what?" was the mock innocent reply. "That thing." "It's a thing," interjected Myrtle. "Shush!" shushed the girl's mother. "Pets are strictly forbidden in the supermarket," announced the guard. "It's not a pet," fibbed Father. "Would you care to explain what it is, then?" Mr. Meek thought for a moment. He wasn't good at lying. A wart." "A wart?" laughed Myrtle. "Shush!" shushed Mother. The security guard did not look convinced. She leaned in to inspect the proboscis. As she got closer, her eyes narrowed and her nose wrinkled in disgust. "If it is a wart, it is the biggest, hairiest, and most repulsive-looking wart I have ever seen in my life." "Thank you," replied Mr. Meek. "My wart has won competitions." The thing's eyes opened and swiveled to look at the security guard. "And it's got an eye!" "That's probably why it won." The guard looked most disturbed and demanded, "What kind of competitions?" "Wart competitions, obviously. It won first prize for the furriest wart in the southwest region. I got a certificate, and my wart got a rosette." Wart competitions were incredibly popular in medieval times, when having a face consistently entire of warts was considered the height of beauty. The Fing must have heard all of this talk about being a wart, because it snarled and sank its teeth in deeper. "Grrr! Na 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 na." "Your wart just growled," exclaimed the guard. "Did it? I didn't hear anything," lied Mr. Meek. "It most certainly did." "Grrr! Sudoku!" "There it goes again." "Large warts do make a noise," lies Mr. Meek. "It is best not to be alarmed. It just means they are growing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and pick up that packet of custard creams. Goodbye." With that, he thrust the trolley forward and was gone. Whizz! Chapter 26. A volcanic explosion of tears, snot, and dribble. With his free hand, Mr. Meek snatched a packet of custard creams and raced to the nearest till. When all the items Myrtle had grabbed had passed along the conveyor belt, that moody teenager cashier announced, That's £783.53. That was a colossal haul of chips, chocolates, and sweets, even for Myrtle. But I don't have that much money on me, panicked Mr. Meek. Nor me, yelped Mrs. Meek. She turned to her daughter. Beautus, do you mind awfully if we put back a bag or two of sweeties? Myrtle looked at her parents with utter contempt. No! She screamed. It was so loud, in fact, everyone in the supermarket could hear. It was so loud, everyone in the supermarket in the next town could hear it too. Of course, being Meek by name and Meek by nature, the last thing Mr. and Mrs. Meek wanted was to make a scene. Even Fing didn't like it. The creature growled. Grrr! Closed its one eye and bit hard on Father's finger again. He winced. Minty, munty, munty! All its eyes turned to the shy little man. He added, Apologies. My water's just going through a growth spurt. Grrr! Fing didn't like that. Oh no, the creature bit harder still. Yabba-dabba-doo! Yelled Father. Please, we need to get home and fast. Let's just put back this industrial-sized tin of fudge. He reached into the trolley for it. Don't touch the fudge! What if I do? Asked Father. I will scream and scream and scream until I throw up all over you! She's done it before, mused Mother. Now a queue of disgruntled shoppers was forming behind the Meek family. Being British, although no one was openly complaining about having to wait, there was an awful lot of tutting. Tutted the tutters. Oh no, we are being tutted at. This is horrendously embarrassing, whispered Father. Tutting was invented by King Tut, or Tutankhamun, the ancient Egyptian pharaoh. Every day he would go to see his pyramid being built and tut loudly if any of his slaves stopped for a tea break. Please, could we put back just this one incy-winkle-ickle bag? Begged Mother, holding up a humble packet of toffees. Wah! Wailed Myrtle. A volcanic explosion of tears and snot and dribble sprayed over everyone. Mr. and Mrs. Meek, Fing, the cashier, the queue, all were coated from head to toe in Myrtle's tears, snot, dribble, gloop. Grrr! Growled Fing. Grumble, 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 grumbled the crowd of shoppers. That was refreshing, remarked Mother, trying to put out a positive spin of having been, well, and truly snotted. Look the word up in the Walliams dictionary. It does exist. Snotted means bogeyed, or phlegmed, or buggered. Because of the commotion, the supermarket manager came out of her office. Ow! 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 Get out of my supermarket at once! She shouted. However, the tears, snot, dribble, gloop have coated the floor, making it as slippery as an ice rink. This meant her authority was immediately undermined by her slipping over and completing the last part of her journey on her bottom. Whoosh! Whoo! She was sliding so fast that she hit the trolley with a thunk, sending it thundering forward. Boom! It crashed straight through the supermarket window. Smash! Sending Myrtle and all the shopping zooming down off the street. Whoosh! Oh, dearie, dearie me, remarked Mother. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie us indeed, added Father. Chapter 27. Custard cream-induced frenzy. Myrtle was still squashed into the baby seat, munching on crisps, as the shopping trolley weaved in and out of the path of the oncoming traffic. Beep, beep, screech, honk, honk, shunt! Stop that trolley, called Father out of the window of his little car. It contains some very important custard creams. And our daughter, shouted Mother. Oh, yes, and our daughter. Let us be mindful of the billing. We don't want to upset our little angel. Oh, yes, Myrtle first. Of course. Mr. Meeks swerved the car through the traffic, so it was now parallel with the trolley. Grab hold of the bonnet, he ordered Myrtle. Grab hold of the bonnet, he ordered Myrtle. I'm busy, replied the girl. To be fair, she was busy, as she just popped open the packet of custard creams. Oh, please don't eat them all, my petal, pleaded Father, reaching out to the window to grab and hold the trolley. I need them for Fing. Grrr, came a growl. Fing's eyes swiveled and zooming in on the biscuits. The sight of them sent the creature into a custard cream-induced frenzy. Grrr! Immediately, Fing stopped biting Father's finger. Grrr! My finger's still there, exclaimed Father, inspecting the deep bite marks on his digit. The Fing leaped from the speeding car in a trolley. Doink! Grrr! It rolled over the packets of food. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Before leaping at the girl, snatching a biscuit right out of her hand. Jump! Get off me, you filthy little beast! Shouted Myrtle, bashing the creature away with one hand as she helped herself to another custard cream from the packet with the other. In all the commotion, she failed to see what was ahead. A double-decker bus in the middle of the road. Mr. Meek stamped on the brakes in his little car. Screech! It came to a juddering halt. Mr. and Mrs. Meek's faces squashed against the windscreen. Squelch! Myrtle! Look out! Screamed Mother. It was too late. The supermarket trolley walloped into the bus. Boosh! In the blink of an eye, the trolley and all its contents was sailing over the bus and flying through the air. Woo! Fing shot across the sky. Grrr! Mr. and Mrs. Meek looked on, open-mouthed in wonder, as they saw their daughters somersaulting while still eating a biscuit. Munch! Until the girl landed on the road with an almighty ker-thump! Chapter 28. Gobble! After Mr. and Mrs. Meek had scooped up Myrtle, Fing, and all the food off the road and bundled everything into the back of the little car, they drove home. It was only when they just opened the boot that they realised Fing had not just devoured all the custard creams. Oops, said Father. Oops indeed, agreed Mother. Oh no. Fing had eaten all the crisps, all the chocolate, and all the cake too. He had chocolate all around its mouth. Well, one could only assume its mouth, indeed. You can only assume it was chocolate. Having eaten all the mountain of food from the supermarket, Fing was now munching its way through the spare tyre. Tyres are not recommended eating. They do tend to taste a tiny bit rubbery. Gobble! As a result of all this eating, Fing had dramatically expanded. It was now around the size of a space hopper, and just like a space hopper, it bounced. Boink! It bounced off the boot. Boink! Past Mr. and Mrs. Meek. Boink! Up the path. Boink! Until it reached the front door. Boink! As Fing couldn't go any further now, it bounced and bounced against the door. Boink! 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 The boinks got harder and harder. Boink, boink, boink! Just one moment, please, Fing, called out Mother. I will get that door open in a jiffy. It was the best she could do, as sadly she didn't speak Fing. The lady chased after the creature, jangling the front door keys, just as she had the key ready to put it in the lock. Boink, boink, boink! Fing bounced against the door with such force that it flew off its hinges. Bash! The door toppled into the house. Thud! Oh, I see you have the door open already, remarked Mother, as cheerfully as she could muster. Meanwhile, Father lifted Myrtle out of the car. The girl had got even heavier in the weeks since he'd been back on his adventure. Ooh, my back! He yelped in pain as he tried to take her weight alone. Do you mind walking the 2 or 3 steps to the house just this once, my petal? No! She snapped. Well, I'll do my best, sighed Father. As he staggered past the boot with Myrtle in his arms, she peered in and saw the empty food packages. Where's all me grub? She demanded. My dearest one, I have some rather upsetting news. What? I'm afraid Fing ate it all. No! It didn't quite finish the spare tire if you fancied a nibble. Wah! Chapter 29. Big Fing meets Little Fing. Now, dear reader, I invite you to regard this splendid, heartwarming scene. In the living room, Fing was bouncing excitedly next to the cage that housed the other Fing from the pet shop. Boink, boink, boink! Mother looked on in delight. How super! She squealed. Big Fing just can't wait to meet Little Fing. Little Fing had emerged from under a pile of newspaper, and what was pressing its mouth, or perhaps its other end, we will really never know, up against the bars of its cage. Big Fing banged against it and bounced. Eek, eek, eek! It squealed. Boink, boink, boink! Ding, ding, ding! With some difficulty, Father lugged his daughter into the room and deposited her deposed her on the sofa. Thump! A cloud of dust filled the room. These 2 adorable creatures are going to be the best of friends, said Mother. Look, Myrtle, dearest. What? As they are your pets, perhaps you would like to introduce Big Fing to Little Fing. Cartoons! Now? Yes! Now! Mother sighed and switched on the television. Myrtle stared at it, picking her nose idly. I know from studying all the animal behaviour books, the best book on how to introduce your pets to another pet is called How to Introduce Pets to One Another. In the library, that when introducing one pet to another, it is sensible to take things very slowly, began Mrs Meek. Excellent point, Mother. Thank you kindly, Father. You hold on to Big Fing while I gently take Little Fing out of its cage. Mr Meek did what he was told. He kneeled down, slightly snagging his long beard under his knees. Ouch! Are you all right? Yes, I'm fine, he replied sharply. Then he pinned Big Fing to the carpet to stop it from bouncing. Grrr! Meanwhile, Mrs Meek gently opened Little Fing's cage. Doing! Eek, eek, eek! Right, she said as she reached in. I'm just going to let them sniff each other first. Mother cupped her hand over Little Fing, who was only the size of a marble. Slowly, she brought the creature down to meet the newest member of the family. Little Fing's eyes widened. Little Fing, meet Big Fing. But before she could say ing, Big Fing burst out of Father's grip, bounced up, grrr, boink, and chomp, devoured Little Fing in one gulp. Gurgle. That didn't go quite to plan, remarked Mother. Bleh. Perhaps the scene wasn't as heartwarming as I had hoped. Apologies. Chapter 30. Instant replay. Myrtle, darling, began Mother. What? Replied the girl, still glued to the television. It's little Fing. There's no nice way to put it. It's been, well, what? Eaten. No! Wailed Myrtle. We should have got her a pet bereavement counsellor, hissed Father. My poor angel, said Mother. You must be really sad. Yeah, exclaimed Myrtle. Sad I missed it. Excuse me? I want an instant replay. A what? Duh, get Big Fing to stick it up and then gobble it down again. Tears welled in Mother's eyes, and she put the handkerchief over her mouth. She had never heard anything so stomach-churningly disgusting. No, she said firmly. We certainly can't do that. Then shut your cake hole! Let me finish my cartoon. Of course, my angel. I am so sorry for disturbing you. Shut up! Mrs. Meek then turned back to Mr. Meek. They noticed something was very wrong. Father? Yes, Mother? Where is Fing? The man looked around the living room. The creature was nowhere to be seen. Oh, no, I don't know. Bang! There it was, smashing through the door to the kitchen. It must still be hungry, said Father. The pair raced into the kitchen. They watched in horror as Fing destroyed everything in sight in quest for its food. Grrr! Plates smashed on the floor. Ka-ta! Pots and pans were sent flying. Twang! Twunk! Twang! Glasses shattered. Ting-ding! Using one of its ends, Fing opened the fridge door. Once inside, it hoovered up everything. Gurgle, gobble, stoozle. Make it stop, screamed Mother. I was saving that chocolate mousse for Myrtle's tea. Too late. Slurp. It was gone in half a second. Father went to grab Fing as it bounced out of the fridge, but it bashed straight into him, knocking him into the ground. Grrr! Boff! Oof! Thud! No! Screamed Mother. She jumped on top of Fing, sitting on it. I don't believe it. I am sitting on Fing, she exclaimed. Grrr! The creature looked up menacingly before rolling every which way to try to escape. Grrr! 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 Still, Mother pushed down on her bottom. Take that! All of a sudden, Fing stopped completely still. Oh no! I've killed it! Exclaimed Mother. That's the end of these chapters, folks. If you enjoyed, please do not forget to like and subscribe. And comment down below which book I should read after this one. See you guys in the next chapters. Bye-bye.